But I find it the most interesting name. Monkey is Bidi.
Bidi. Okay, Bidi.
Yeah,
if you're from,
it's one of the first words I learned in Hausa. I don't know.
See, we share different things. If you came from Mount Kenya trying to say Mbili, Bidi.
Bidi.
Evelyn, hi. Bidi. See?
Why? Live streaming Mekata.
I'm seeing that, yeah.
All Bantus are like the same?
The same, yeah.
Okay. We
seem to be having a problem with the stream.
We seem to be having a problem with the connection. Okay, and that's going to be sorted out in a little bit. So I can't even say on this end who has tuned into the room this morning. But let's see if we can do that at some point later and at least welcome you into the room. It would be great if we have the opportunity to. So that's being worked on right now. So the live stream has cut out for now, but we'll come back to it in just a little bit. Sawa. So people who are listening in this morning, welcome. And it's really good to have you as we get into some conversations today. And we'll come back and say hello. And then be sure to click into the live stream as soon as that is up. Sawa. All right, so we can jump in at this point and have a look into the headlines. We'll start off... So you guys just make me happy with the other ones. Maybe, perhaps. No. Okay. Then Standard newspaper this morning is very interesting in terms of its headline. Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard. Ruto's spanner girl. That's the headline today. Is ODM being repackaged as President William Ruto's 2027 campaign machine? As party chair Gladys Wanga openly drums up support for Ruto's re-election, seemingly at the expense of the party she leads, insiders whisper of a high-stakes gamble that could trade the soul of the Orange Democratic Movement for a shot at the deputy presidency. With her monstrosity moving without brakes, it is only a matter of time before the Raila party faces its moment of reckoning. Apondo inasema.
Who told you that we would not field a candidate? We are ODM. Who told you?
Yeah, well, somebody seems to have told Gladys Wanga.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was, I don't know. It seems to be running at cross purposes with what might have been the party position. Who knows? It'll be interesting because Jimmy Orengo will be here at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And perhaps we can pose this question to him that, do you guys have conversations? What exactly is going on?
What's going on?
She's not secretly drumming up support for William Ruto.
She's
publicly, openly drumming up support for William Ruto. So what exactly does that mean? What's the party position? Or is the party position that William Ruto will be their choice as president come 2027? It's what we'll look into. A strategy, it looks like there's alignment. Wanga is actively campaigning for President William Ruto's re-election in 2027, signaling a strategic partnership between sections of ODM and UDA. Ambition, analysts suggest Wanga might be positioning herself for higher office, potentially the deputy presidency, leveraging her influence within ODM and aggression. Her moves have created friction within ODM, with resignations, sidelined allies, and criticism from some leaders highlighting factional divides and resistance to her approach. We know that her deputy governor of Homa Bay resigned just the other day, citing a number of things. There's also the thought that he might actually want to run for the position come 2027, but he's resigned, and she quickly accepted his resignation and then said they're going to be looking to who they would bring in to continue serving as deputy governor of Homa Bay.
Asks the question, what's really the role of a deputy governor?
It's always been asked. Is it to serve as a running mate during the election period?
That's it.
And then what happens after that?
Yeah, because ask yourself, which is this deputy governor that you've seen in the presence of a governor that there's something they're doing? Because they always lurk somewhere in the shadows, but never really there to be seen. So they're there to be seen, not heard.
Yeah.
Or even not to be seen nor heard.
It's a very good question because I remember having a conversation a couple of years ago with Dr. Carol Karogo, and she was deputy governor of Nyeri County. And she often said, there were things that they wanted to do. They were, a lot of times you will find that the deputy governors are the technocrats in the duo.
True.
That you'll have a politician running for governor and you'll have a technocrat as their running mate. Because it would appear as though you need that person to establish and implement policy in the county or even in the country. But then they end up not doing anything. And it sounds painful, but that's true. They end up drawing a salary. And that's one of the things that Dr. Karogo said. That's one of the things that Dr. Karogo said, that, we draw a salary, but what are we actually doing? We, hold fort for you when you may not be around, but it's got to be something more than that, she said. Well, it's an interesting question. It's always been a debate. They have a forum. Perhaps they should be given something else to do. It's also been said that in the county assembly, perhaps they should serve a particular role, do something, or maybe there should be an amendment whereby it says the deputy governor must hold another role as well, so that we can feel the impact.
And I think the reason why you find them not having anything, it's because the role has not been defined in the constitution, They're just running mates. That's all we know. After that, it is then the governor to decide what role it is they're giving you. But then if they're technocrats, one would assume that governor is here doing the policy work, and perhaps they're the people who are at the back end ensuring that policy is actually implemented to achieve their vision as a couple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about Donald Trump. Just sorry about that.
Yeah.
So the live stream is back up, guys, and we can see it trickling into the room. Just making sure. The live stream is back up now. Sorry about that little technicality, but you can come on in now because we can continue those conversations. And I'll say a quick hello before we get back into looking at some of those stories. We have looked at the headline this morning, and that's what, yes, somebody said, is that what Gladys Wanga is going to wake up to in terms of a headline? It would appear so. Simona says, good morning. Okay, that's a name that we've not seen. But very good morning to you and welcome joining us today. Good morning from Mombasa, says Peter Kiaria. It is better to be unhappy and know the worst than to be happy in a fool's paradise. Young Jedi says, Leo YouTube ingaleta kichwa. Yeah, just behaving, but we've just spanked it into
Kichwa yetu ni ngumu kushinda YouTube.
Mtu fulani wao ndio unasema yani governor atamkia your headline. Yeah, it would appear so. That's what it looks like. Leo says, good morning. Hello, Princess Ndua. I said, good morning to you. Mbadi new MPs don't do due diligence. They just trust what you say.
True.
As they trust the executive with every demand for more budget for State House and hopping in choppers. This is true. And that's why we see what we see. That he could make such statements and not expect that anybody was going to follow up because he knows very well that they don't. Very few of them do. And when they do, they're seen as the troublemakers or as the rubble rousers, because he didn't expect that anybody was going to follow up or do due diligence. And that's why we are in where we are. I'm still asking this morning, the KPC money, which was supposed to go to the infrastructure funds or whatever it is,
infrastructure fund account. Yeah.
Where is that money?
It's lurking somewhere in the air.
Day two, I am asking where is that money? Because now suddenly, out of the blue, tell them out, we have not because the thing elapsed and what.
We lied to you.
Day two, now I'm asking, pesa ya KPC that was floated, divestiture, partial, whatever, where is it? Because you told us, and these are the things that we're talking about, guys. No romance, no feelings, no emotions, no, I don't know, I'm being negative about, no. In this case, it's very clear that you told Kenyans one thing, and now you're telling them something else. And when people were against this move, you said Kenyans are being negative. Okay, see now. See now. Where is it? Where is it? Where it is, or is it held somewhere in a suspense account so that when you establish this office, you open the account and then you send the money there? If that's the case, tell Kenyans. Tell them.
This is not a question of a kettle calling the pot black. No, you are the pot and the kettle in the same box.
All of you are black.
You're all black.
Yeah.
Because it's not even a question of coming to clear things out. You lied from the word go.
Bana.
Moving forward, everything else is just dot. I'm sorry.
No, imagine this one, no. So when Kenyans then are justified in their apathy towards a particular situation, Kenyans are justified in the position they take when they say, this is just another scam. Even if it is not a scam, Banange, the optics, what are you telling people? Then suddenly you come out and say your junior officers did not act before. Something so important, you did not check to see if the company then had been established. You're going to open a bank account, whatever. Where is it? Day two, I'm asking. So the money from KPC, where is it? Even if it was subscribed, even if it was shilingi moja, where is it? Where is it? I'm asking.
Because remember, the original plan was we're going to set up this company, and this company will receive all the proceeds that will come from all these things you're floating.
Yes.
So here's a question where this company has not been formed.
Yes.
So the original plan has been altered. So if it has been altered, why did that happen? You lied to Kenyans.
You did. And like I said, this is no emotions. Even if you're my boyfriend, I'll ask you, excuse me, sir. You told people where's the money?
In fact, if he's the boyfriend, he needs to come out clean.
Hey, but no. This is why people doubt you. So everything that you say, they doubt you because of things like this. And don't brush it under the carpet.
No.
FCPA, Mbadi, Bana. No. You can do better. So the question remains, where is the money? And if you can't, for something so simple, be accountable, you don't have any business being there. And I can be bold to say, you don't. Feelings aside, because if we were to involve feelings here, it'd be much worse.
Mimi nimekach. Mimi niko na my feelings.
You're all in your feelings.
I'm going to take it personal because this is a cabinet secretary supposed to serve me and many other Kenyans. You lied to me, sir. I'm sorry. Mimi niko na my feelings. I don't know about others, but my feelings.
Uko nazo?
Niko na my feelings, yo.
Kabisa. There's something coming up where your feelings, you get a little bit deeper into them, but just wait a minute.
Okay.
Daughters of Africa says, yet another blessed day. Let's give thanks to Yahweh. Indeed, we're doing that this morning. Rose Grace tuned in from Minara. Good morning, Ndu, and I said, blessed day. And to you too, my sister. Tips Muke tuned in this morning and says, good morning and be blessed. Tipimuke said media should be added to the constitution. Are we not there? Okay.
Spice team. Media. Spice team. Please.
Oh, Spice FM team. All right. I see the law.
Yeah.
Raphael Kanini says, good morning, tuned in from Lemuru. Okelo Sam is tuned in this morning, listening in from Nyakach. He says, Wod Aseto and Nyamin Chidima. Chidima is actually my younger sister's name.
Yeah.
But
actually, what he just says, Nyamini is.
Nyamini is what?
Sister to Chidima.
Sister to Chidima.
Yeah, Nyamini means sister.
How did he know my sister's name is Chidima?
Well,
I've never said that thing here before. Sam Okele was scared of you. Did the village uncle send you? Because what? But okay. Yeah, I mean, sister Chidima. Okay, anyway. Raim Tulomar says, good morning from Preston, the UK. Ndu, yesterday was Holi, the Hindu festival of colors. Wishing all Hindus a happy belated Holi. Okay, Holy day. All right. Leo says deputy governors are just running mates and it ends there. They suffer the same fate as deputy president. Unless assigned work, they just sit and earn salary. Cindy? Yeah. Stanley Ngashe says, good morning. What does it mean when the 2025-2026 performance contract is signed in quarter 3 of the financial year 2025-2026? What has the government agencies been implementing? That's Nothing. A good question.
Nothing.
Because I'm well into the thing and then I say, by the way, sign a performance contract. Yeah. Let's see. No. From the beginning, my friend. Day one, you swear in, you sign the contract.
Yep.
That's what I think. I mean, I would imagine.
So what does it mean? Nothing.
Nothing. It means nothing.
Yeah.
Robert Mbogotuni from Mombasa. Dr. Venvick says, good morning. Leo huku Mombasa mvua imefanya ile kitu. Wacha mvua inyeshe bwana. Bob Akoko says, good morning from Spice Crew. I do actually feel bad for those who have to cross rivers and lakes to get where they are going, and because we've not put in the proper infrastructure. I do feel bad. But on the other side, it needs to rain.
Yeah.
Good morning, Dennis and Andrew. As always, tuned in from Kendu Bay, Kanya Soro. Keep it hot, Kabisa. Ni Thursday with Orengo, and we love it from Linda Moyainchi. All right, let's go. Dan Stilanga is tuned in this morning and says, glad to be back. The KPC IPO was done before the infrastructure fund laws are in place. Can you imagine? Guess what? Even the Hustler Fund, let me just tell you, even the Hustler Fund, the implementation metrics for the Hustler Fund was after the fact, after the money had been released. So you tell me, or you want to say this is the modus operandi?
It is. Look at the education.
Afterwards.
Everything is after the fact.
Yeah. So, hey, Owen Molu's tuning from Boito live. What does Obinasom mean? Obinasom means it is making my heart sweet. My heart loves it.
Makes my heart do.
Bas. In fact, the way you say it in Igbo is just kai. Somebody tells you, Ifunaya Obinasom. Oh my God. There's no way you're not entering. I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yes, I get it.
Black Signum says, probably still in the receiving banks for the IPO. Yeah, well, still, they have about 3 minutes to get the fund operational so that it can move. Want us to ask Governor Orengo about the Middle East conflict and the National Infrastructure Fund? Well, let's see. Leo says, Princess Linda, the money is in the Infrastructure Limited Company sole director. It's not possible for you to have a sole director of a limited company when the company has not been established.
Yeah. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, guys. All they did was reserve a name in December on the 19th specifically. But then even that name reservation has elapsed. Do you understand what I'm saying?
We went for holiday.
Christmas? Okay. They went to sit around that Christmas tree in Bungoma for 3.7 million.
3.7 and another party in Vihiga for 5 million. So it's fine.
Man, let's just be honest about some things. Wanda says, good morning, Situation Room. Tune in from Toronto. Looking great, and do thank you. And please tell us, I told you your feelings. Today you will catch them proper. Please tell us, Seto. I like his voice.
Oh, thank you.
Look at him blushing. You didn't know a dark man could blush. He can.
A few people make me blush.
Hey!
They did. You do.
Hey!
My mom does. When my mom calls me, they know. Ooh. Nyalego da.
Allah. I don't know what I was saying, but I don't have an object on the keyboard. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Rahim, we see Raskodor says, good morning. Brian Orono is tuned in. Buddy has this habit of lecturing us, yet he's our employee. Can you imagine? He actually is your employee. D Combo says, good morning. Lakini tuelezana ukweli. Government ucheza na pesa taxes za Wakenya kabisa. It's true. It's true. Let's just say the truth. Hello, Ndwana Sato tuned in. Wairimo, good morning. About the deputy governors, they are known as lieutenant governments. They run independently, cannot be fired because they are separately elected. Could also be from a different party. Well, there you go. It's clear, though, in terms of what they'll be doing. Also, Dr. James Otieno Chukomacho in Kenya from Brazil. Good morning to you. Rashid is also tuned in this morning. Has spoken in the Luo. We are seeing you. Good morning. And now you understand why the performance is being signed after the implementation. Hustler money released before framework, and now KPC IPO funds. I'm telling you, it's crazy. You want to ask the question, today, where's the Hustler Fund? If you want to see the trajectory that this thing is going, ask yourself today, where's the Hustler Fund? Where's the Hustler Fund that you had the office established after
the
fact? This one, the company has not been established.
Imagine someone will come tell you, that was a campaign promise and you delivered what? Ulipewa opportunity to deliver hewa.
Hey. Yeah, that's where we are. It's the question. It's the question that we're asking this morning, that we continue to ask. All right, let's continue looking into the headlines. You know what the front page of the Standard looks like this morning. Looking into some other stories. Page 2 of the Standard talks about, well, again, good morning, everybody. Karibu Sana, thank you for joining us. Double speak. Mbadi now says the NIF is a fund and not a limited company. Well, which one is it, Brother John? Which one is it? Because he sat here, unless I was looking at an apparition, unless I was staring at an apparition, it was him live in the flesh, and he said to us, we will form a company. And I personally asked him, why form a company when you have departments that can be given the role of this thing? And what did he say? There's too much bureaucracy in government, and we can't act. Government doesn't actually do business well. I say, okay.
You want to run it professionally?
Carry on. Now you're telling us that you don't need a limited company.
Yeah, it
that
is
actually
a
a fund. I beg you people should stop taking people as a joke. It's not fair.
Stop carrying us children. That's so wrong, man.
It is.
It's actually sad that we sat with him here and he told us this is a company that look at other companies, gave examples of Safaricom, KCB, the way they are doing well. That is the trajectory they are taking. That today he's turning around and saying different things. Apana, it's not allowed. Ni makosa.
It's true. It doesn't look good at all.
Doesn't look good.
Azimio MCAs disown Sakaja ouster motion. Azimio MCAs are saying, impeach who? Not us. Cheer, in case you were wondering, is still the CS for roads. You haven't heard from him in a minute, but he had a presser yesterday and he's talking about the airport deal. And he said, don't worry, guys, Adani will not go through the back door. I bet you that Kenyans didn't believe a word of what he said. Yesterday was tough to see. Ngeno's family eulogized him and the pilot and the others who lost their lives in this horrific helicopter crash that occurred over the weekend. And that memorial service took place yesterday. That was seen. So there's the story of Wanga. The force behind Oburu and Ruto's new fixer is what they're calling her this morning. A fixer in media circles is an interesting position. And if they're calling her a fixer, okay. Oburu Camp desperate for a slice of
power.
Okay, that's another story that we'll look into. Expectations as NADCO report handover nears. They're saying they're handing it over on the Tuesday, not Saturday now anymore.
Okay.
Tuesday, the 10th of March, will be handed over, where there will be a joint parliamentary group meeting, whatever, while the NADCO report will be handed over at KICC. Let's see. ODM and UDA to hold joint parliamentary group meeting. That's the one we're talking about. Where
What
the
is it called?
Who knows?
What is it called? If ODM and UDA have a joint parliament, what exactly is it called? Is it called a UDA, PGA, or ODM? What do you call it? Because at least we knew there was Azimio PGA, which made sense. There was a Kenya Kwanza PGA, which made sense. What is I can't move this thing. Anyway.
Yani, just call
Salam Korogo.
lasagna even.
Yeah, lasagna.
Call it anything. Call it anything. ODM strongholds under siege amid internal rifts and realignments. We have many questions to ask, to discuss with Jimmy Rengo this morning. And we're going to do that because a lot of this is kind of confusing. Uhuru's backing of Matiang'i challenged by who? A fresh battle is looming in the Jubilee Party over President Uhuru Kenyatta's endorsement of former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i as the party's presidential candidate in next year's general election. People don't seem to like that too much. The Business Standard is in today. Dividend boom as Absa profit surges 10% to 22.9 billion shillings. Somebody's doing well. Uganda unveils its first Islamic insurance provider. Freight costs at Mombasa port shoot up 50% on Iran war spillover. My God, if you were paying 100 shillings, now you're paying 150.
Yeah.
And that's just it, because they're saying things are not coming, and when they're coming very slowly. U.S. Navy could escort oil tankers through a major shipping route. They're saying, well, we got to get the oil moving anyway, and if they're going to close the road, let's see if we can escort you to where you need to
Guess
go.
what? They needed not to do that if they just stayed in their country and did their business.
Yeah,
You know?
okay.
Yeah, so it's not like you're offering a solution, you caused the problem. So
In the first
we're
place.
not clapping for you.
Do what you need to do, America. Yeah. Okay, so let's look into some stories. We'll start with you, sir.
Okay, which one do we start with? Do we start with the Spana girl?
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about Mbadi. Mbadi. Double speak. Mbadi now says NIF is a fund, not limited company. And in the subs, the Treasury boss has tried to defend his lie by claiming he was going ahead of cheeky Kenyans. Hey, Kenyans, you're cheeky, oh. Hey, you're cheeky. The Kenya Pipeline IPO was oversubscribed by 5%, and government will refund the 5 billion shillings. Now, Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has stated that the National Infrastructure Fund is a financial vehicle and not a limited liability company. He explained that the fund, which is a concept, had two options: to either create a national infrastructure fund or a limited liability company. And I quote him, "The other option, and where I belong, was to create a fund with a proper legal framework," Mbadi said, noting there is no contradiction. As such, he explained that the government made a decision to set up a fund through legislative bill, which is currently in Parliament. This decision, Mbadi said, was to prevent deceitful individuals from registering a similar name. You cannot register National Infrastructure Fund as an investment entity, so we moved ahead to secure that and register the fund, but it was not conclusively registered, he said. Now, I was not under any obligation to tell anybody. But yeah, I was not under any obligation to tell anybody that we had reserved the name. I was just warning the people who had thought of registering the National Infrastructure Fund that we had already registered it. Mbadi defended his stance, distancing himself from reports that NIF, that is the National Investment Fund, is an investment entity. So how does it contradict? Mbadi was speaking Wednesday during the announcement of Kenya Pipeline Company's initial public offer results. So the Kenya Pipeline Company IPO hit a subscription rate of 105%, attracting 112 billion shillings against the target of 106.3 billion shillings, despite a slow start that necessitated a 3-day extension. Treasury said it would not exercise a green shoe option of retaining the excess amount, but would instead refund the 5 billion shillings. So, FCPA John Mbadi is a cabinet secretary appointed by President William Ruto, who was given the mandate by Kenyans. That means, in extension, John Mbadi is an employee of the 55 million Kenyans, right? That would mean that in each and every single thing that John Mbadi is doing in that office, Kenyans have the right, according to the constitution that has put him in office, to right to information. Kenyans must know what it is you are doing in that office. That he would turn around and say that I was under no obligation to tell anybody anything. I'm sorry, sir. That right there is you operating outside the constitution of Kenya. And that you went around all media houses and told Kenyans that you're going to set up a company called the NIF, and you to turn around and say that, you know what, I had options and I chose to do the alternative. That right there is where the problem is at, because, sir, you lied.
You know what?
You lied.
Yeah. You know what? On something like this, you cannot backtrack.
You cannot backtrack.
One thing happened is that you came out and you told Kenyans, we asked about public participation. You said, Kenyans are jumping the gun because public participation is going to take place. This is going to happen. You said it. I'm sorry, but you didn't shroud it. You didn't say, perhaps. No, you were very clear that a limited company was then going to be established and that we were going to hire staff and they were the ones who were going to run this fund. This is what you said. You said there was going to be a limited company. You went on to say that it has already been created. You said this in public. So you see this shifting of goalposts. You see this hoodwinking people all the time. Even though that may not be your intent, that is exactly what you're doing.
Exactly.
And you look like, I'm sorry, but let me say it right to you this morning. You look like the better person if you actually come out and say, you know what? We got our lines crossed. We messed up here and there. We're trying to fix it. Instead of coming to tell people that, it was a fund, it was not a fund. It was a company, it is not a company. It's not a limited company, we're not going to hire people. We reserved the name elapsed. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Because what you're telling Kenyans is that we actually believe that you guys are stupid and we can do whatever it is that we want to do with your money, and we actually don't have to explain anything to you. In fact, it's not even imagery. You've come right out and you've told people that we don't have to explain everything that we are doing to you. Whereas, Mr. Sir, please, there is a constitution. Yeah. It's a living document, but it's also a spirit which says, yes, you do. That everything that you are going to do with the resources of the people of Kenya, guess what? You have to tell them. And you have to tell them the truth about what's going on. Because when you don't, you know what you do? You color your image. And that everything that you come and tell them in the future, they doubt you. So are you surprised? In fact, that's my question. Are you surprised that when you come and tell Kenyans something, they doubt you after you do things like this?
Because, we talked about this infrastructure fund having 5 trillion Kenya shillings that was supposed to propel this country into a developed nation. And we asked those questions in this room. We asked FCP Mbadi on how that is going to be set up, why we are moving away from trusting that the government of Kenya would be able to do that with the resources it does have. And he said, we believe that if we put it as a company, as a limited company, and we have individuals who are running it professionally and avoid the government bureaucracies, then we would be winning together. That you turn around and tell us, I was not under any obligation to tell anybody that we had reserved. I'm sorry.
You are under obligation. Every obligation to tell people. That is what public participation is. Hello? Is anybody home? Hello? Knock, knock. That is what public participation is. You are under every obligation to tell the people of Kenya what you're doing with their resources. Because number one, you're their employee. Number two, it's their money.
It's their money.
We take this thing like it's a joke, that, we are the vanguard of the money, so therefore we don't have to tell people what you do with it. Until the BS hits the fan, no, you do. Because you need to tell them.
Fine, right now you have the over 112 billion shillings that you said was oversubscribed by 105%, right? Fine, you have the money. Does that money belong to you? It is the money that has been invested by people of Kenya. And one asks the question, where exactly are you taking that money and for what purpose? To make the lives of Kenyans better. Therefore, in each and every single thing that you do is tied. It's a long chain because one process leads to the other. You cannot come and say, sitawaongelesha na mtadu That mtadu mentality
Ugh.
must end. I'm sorry, it has to end. It has to end.
You do.
You do.
You have a responsibility. And then you see this attitude that you're saying, actually, I'm under no obligation. I'm going to repeat it. You are under every obligation to tell Kenyans what didn't or did happen every step of the
Yes.
way. It has everything to do with their resources and has everything to do with their will. Their will. Remember that they are delegating this responsibility of leadership and governance to you
Yeah.
for a period of time. For a period of time. And you can tell me that you're an appointee of the president, but guess what? He is an employee of the people. So stop it. Honestly, it's very annoying, this thing that you do, and then you're surprised tomorrow when Kenyans don't trust you. Where do you think the distrust is coming from? Azimio MCAs disown Sakaja ouster motion. Then they're saying, nah, come on, we don't need to do this.
Yeah.
Members of the Nairobi County Assembly pushing for the impeachment of Governor Johnson Sakaja yesterday insisted they have the requisite numbers to table the motion, even as they admitted that hurdles remain. But another group of Azimio MCAs rejected the bid to oust Sakaja. By Tuesday, MCAs led by Minority Deputy Leader Waithera Shege and Godfrey Majiwa Babadogo said they were confident that the threshold required to introduce the motion had been met. The threshold for an impeachment motion for the table to be tabled requires 42 members, which we have already met and surpassed, according to Waithera. Some MCAs claimed that about 56 ward representatives had appended their signatures to the impeachment motion, which is awaiting verification by the clerk. Now, we cannot disclose the signatures they said they had collected until they are formally received by the clerk. However, we have already met and exceeded the threshold. Meanwhile, a group of ODM ward reps led by Majority Leader Peter Imwatok said they opposed the impeachment, arguing that the recently adopted cooperation agreement with the national government will enable it to take over and complete key projects. He said, "We stand firmly for unity, stability, and the development of Nairobi. Our focus is on delivering services to residents, not engaging in unnecessary political distractions." So Apple, they can't even decide whether they want to go forward or
May
not.
I have a question?
Axe it.
We stand firmly for unity, stability. Who told you Kenyans are fighting? What unity? Among yourselves? All Kenyans want is that you cabal of individuals get to office and get work. Get what I mean?
Can you imagine ward
It's that
reps?
simple.
85 ward reps, whereby they should be representing the people down at that level. They're fighting as to whether we want or we don't want.
We don't want. During that time, we are in a county where in your different wards that form then Nairobi County, the individuals were unable to leave because there's no drainage. There is garbage. And you're here sitting, do we impeach or do we not impeach? Are you sick?
Yeah.
Where is the policy? These
Happened.
these MCAs should tell us what are these laws they've taken to the National Assembly, to the County Assembly to ensure that the lives of Nairobi residents, 6 million of them, is better today. Not we will impeach, we are cooperating, we're for you. Who is fighting in Nairobi?
Where's the fight that
Where's
people
the fight
are uniting
that you guys are
and
uniting
unifying and non-dividing?
Shayona Bure and Kabisa. Bure Kabisa is the child they would get.
When Bure and
Kabisa is a
have
couple.
baby.
Bure Kabisa.
Hey, bwana, you. If you done it, I'm a jump.
What the hell? Our focus is on delivering. You've not been able to deliver for 3 years. Now all of a sudden there's some 80 billion shillings in the corporation and you're here clapping instead of asking, hey, Governor, this is what Nairobi residents voted for you. If you're unable to do the job, get out. I dare say, you see this Bure Kabisa, what do I end?
Hey. No, it gets to the
It's
point
that
where you're going to have to
simple.
call it as it is.
Yeah.
You call it as it is. Now, niendele nini? Georgia.
Choma.
Teachers cry foul over Shah medical cover. Barely two.
Hey.
Iko kwa gazeti.
Hey, tusome.
Barely 2 months after unions led thousands of teachers to join the Social Health Authority medical plan, educators are now seeking to return to the old scheme.
Why?
I'm sorry. I'm not laughing. Just my throat was hurting. The move comes amid growing frustration over what teachers describe as great difficulties in accessing the healthcare under Shah. You guys, I read a terrible story yesterday before we even go on. A grandmother went with her granddaughter to hospital. And she was told that they would not be able to admit her because SHA was not going to be able to cover. This is a true story in Kenya. SHA was not going to be able to cover the medication that she needed. Do you know what? And so they said, this is how much you need to pay. Do you know what she said? She told her granddaughter, take me back home. I'd rather go and die at home than now starting to look for the money for this procedure. There's no need. I'm already old. I'll just die. Wallahi. I'll get the story and I'll send it to you. Carrying on. In December last year, the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, KUPPET, and the Kenya National Union of Teachers, NUT, orchestrated a mass withdrawal from the Minute Medical Scheme, shifting members to SHA. Unions are now calling for urgent reforms, with some advocating a return to the former cover, arguing that the new system has caused hardship, confusion, and unexpected out-of-pocket expenses for teachers. They're now having to pay out-of-pocket for a number of things. KUPPET National Chairman Omboko Milemba said teachers are not getting value for their contributions. Teachers are paying heavily for these services, once through normal deductions and again via the medical cover. Many have been held at facilities for unpaid bills because SHA has not settled them. He added, teachers haven't had to fundraise for medical cover for 15 years while enrolled in Minette. We have never held a harambe in all that time, and we will not start now. It is either SHA works for teachers or it quits. The controversy dates back to a September meeting at State House, Nairobi, where union leaders petitioned President William Ruto over concerns that the Minute arrangement was costly and unsustainable. Access to inpatient services for teachers is below market standards. Data shows that on average it costs 117,000 per patient visit under your medical scheme, compared to a market average of 100,000 and 98,000 for civil servants. That means teachers pay more for every visit, so we cannot continue with this medical cover as it is. This is according to President William Ruto in September. He directed the Ministry of Education to collaborate with health professionals to review the package and explore alternatives that deliver better value for money. Now, that having been done, they realized, Allah, we were in the frying pan. Now we're in the fire.
No, remember, Omboko Milemba was seated here.
Yes, he was.
There were teachers who came here
Yeah.
and they were complaining about this same thing because they said they were not consulted and never saw the workings around this thing that they were going around.
Yeah.
Omboko Milemba said, what? This is a good thing. Let us give it an opportunity. Teachers. Hey!
Teacher said, no can do, sir.
Yeah.
We're not going to pay out of pocket. This is Omboko Milemba saying now that we raise money for other things as teachers, but we never raise money for medical bills. We never have harambe for medical bills because our former cover was able to do just
It was
that.
a comprehensive cover.
Yes, please. We've never had to go out of pocket to go to hospital. Be it expensive, but we have never had to spend an extra shilling when we visited the hospital. Now we're having to do that. So they said, no can do. So it's either we go back to how it was before and we pull out properly. Or we not allow this kind of thing to happen. Really? Really? It didn't even take 6 months. And here you are saying what? Now, if that's happening with teachers who are a corralled, protected group, what is happening to the average Kenyan who's walking into a facility and this is not happening?
Tell me about it.
They don't have unions that they can come and ask for backing.
Do you know what would solve this problem? Have these members of parliament, senators, and everybody else, including the president, be on SHA. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work for everyone.
Thanks, please.
That is the only solution.
Yeah. I hear there's Lipa Pole Pole for SHA. This is true. You go to the website. I want to find out exactly how much it is that you pay per whatever, week, month, day.
Question is, when you go to hospital, will they still ask you that you're lipping Pole Pole, or will they ask you to pay the annual subscription?
You guys, I keep saying, when you're in an assembly line in a factory and you're producing shirts, for example, you find that one button of a shirt doesn't work. The whole shirt is condemned.
Yes.
Good morning, 7 a.m.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.